my voice feels thick. It's always the same problem. My voice feels thick, overworked, heavy. And so the solution is always the same thing. Close the cords, thin it out. The next exercise is find the head voice. You know you have three voices. Typically, as far as resonance is concerned, I have a mouth resonance, which is hey, that yo Adrian, everything is trapped out of the mouth. Then I have the pure head, that and then the pharyngeal, which is that which joins the two voices together. If I say that splits the sound, half in the mouth, half in the head. That's the middle. But in the morning, I got a heavy voice. I'm going to go so I got to dump the weight off and go to pure head voice. So instead of thinking from the bottom up, I think from the top down. So I'm going to thin out towards head voice. Woo! Now if I go airy, that's not head, that's falsetto. Head, the chords close. Woo! 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 Remember, they're housed behind the Adam's apple on a horizontal. Air blows through them. They suck together. If they don't suck together, they don't quite come together. It's falsetto. That's the more pressure I put on them, the more air it's going to get. Here, the more pressure I put on it, the louder it's going to get, the more presence. So all I need to do is say to get there. If I'm still saying then my voice obviously wants to go groggy, and groggy is the opposite of falsetto. So for my morning warm-up, I might go, if I'm flipping into falsetto, so that's a problem. No falsetto. Then I let it drift into head. I let it sneak out. Once I'm there, I work on connecting, pulling the head voice down instead of the chest voice up. So this exercise I call head voice, but from the top down. Again, we're not using a piano, we're not singing scales, we're just making sound. It is important to discipline your voice with scales, but that's what my program Singing Success is for. The Systematic Vocal Training Program includes scales to discipline, line up the pitches, find and coordinate the voice into a more refined, more refined coordinations. But what we're doing here is simply finding your sound. Since singing is sound making, that's all we're trying to do. And this helps you make sound. Once you're there, you add weight to that, which is the next exercise. So the next one is to start building some presence up there, which is anything that adds presence to the head voice without yelling. I can go up and go, I'm pulling up. That's never going to change. Remember this, and I say this a lot, you can't take a wrong coordination and make it right. You have to abolish the wrong one and move over to a right coordination. Ignore something that is wrong. If you're going and thinking I just need to relax, if I had vibrato I might free it up. Well, a little bit, but it's not going to be right. So what you have to do is get into your head voice and add some pharyngeal resonance. Remember, that's the the NG traps that sound behind there. So if I can get there, so if I take the NG, the I'm blending head with adding more presence to my sound. So if I say, hey, falsetto lacks presence. Hey, head voice has more presence. That little whiny, ugly, funny, comedic sound is more presence to my voice. Not the finished sound, but my progressive warm-up. So if I'm going to say, meow, meow, see how I'm starting to pour into my voice, and it helps me connect. So I'll get it up into my head voice, and then meow, meow. Someone says, it sounds like you're a falsetto cat. And I said, but there's more brass there. Meow! Meow! And that chewing action, that meow, 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 forces the chords to come together, but without reaching. There's no reach, there's no strain. It's not a pretty sound, but it's part of a warming up exercise. Now it's towards relaxation. I just want to get up there and be relaxed. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure the muscles underneath the chin aren't pulling. So when I go back to humming, I'm going to say, if I feel a disconnect, the next exercises help with that. But for this fifth exercise, all I want to do is put fingers underneath my chin and gently massage and keep the muscles from flexing. If I can get free-flowing vibrato and a connected voice, that means I'm pretty relaxed. Another part of this relaxation thing is tension here. I press down on the sides of my jaw and I slide down along the masseter, the chewing muscle. The strongest muscle pound for pound in the body. Because you chew a lot. You bite through some